Hello everyone, this is my audience. My name is Mason Smith, and I'm happy today to talk about my job as a farmhand, and more specifically about raising baby animals on the farm that I worked at. When I was a farmhand, as soon as I got the job, I walked in on my first day and saw that there were baby goats, 3 of them specifically, running around in a pen, and my first job was to look after them and take care of them. The first thing I had to do was feed them, and it was more so feeding the mother and less feeding them. I'd keep them away from the feed as the mother was trying to get them to come near them so that she could give them her milk. It was a struggle at first because they all tried to crowd around. You had to kick them, not kick them away, but move them out of the way. And they would kind of want to get near it and bleat and cry for it, but then they eventually calmed down. Now, feeding them was the easy part. Cleaning them was not. And sometimes I would have to pick the manure off of them. Other times I would just have to shovel it straight out of their pen. And I would load up a wheelbarrow with all the manure and open the pen as fast as I could so they wouldn't shoot out from between my legs, which they often did, and then dump the manure in a nearby pile. I would have to go chase them down if they did escape and lock the door as fast as I could so that no more would escape. And it was fun at times to chase them around because they would be running away from me, but other times it was stressful as we were nearby a road and multiple of them could get out and I had to track them down. The only part about raising them that I did not enjoy as much was giving them shots. And when I would give them shots, they would run away from me because they'd see it and recognize that it was not comfortable. But then I would have to wrangle them, and I would have to hold them down because they didn't want to be there. And I would just quickly prick them with it, give it to them, and then let them go. And they'd run around and cry for a bit, and I'd go over and give them a hug, love on them, and they'd climb all on my back, and we'd be back to playing again. And one of their most favorite games that they tried to play with me and they would try to get me to do is get down on all fours and get on their level, and then they jump on my back and play King of the Hill or act as if I was like a rock and try to climb on me. That was always fun as they would butt each other off and go squealing and then immediately jump back on and butt the other ones off. It was fun to just see them grow and mature as they got older. Now, the other animal that I did help work with that he was being raised was a wallaby. And a wallaby is about 2 feet tall, comes up to your knee, and it's a kangaroo, but tiny. So really cute, adorable, big eyes, little tiny hands, and just he would love being around people. Now the cool thing with him is I could actually carry him in a pouch. And as I would carry him in a pouch, he would not really squirm. He'd sit there and look up at you, and you'd give him little pieces of food. The annoying part with him being in a pouch all the time is he would also use the bathroom in there. So I would have to clean out the leftover food and the leftover manure that he would leave in there, which was stinky most of the time. But he would always try to get back in as I was trying to clean it. I had to push him out, get him out of the way, but I would just keep cleaning it. And then he'd immediately jump back in, ready to be fed. Now, as he got older, he strayed away from the pouch a little bit less, and we had to make a shed for him. And as we were building the shed, I had to teach him how to actually eat normally. And so I would hold the grass out for him to either eat just eat it out of my hand, or he would come up and grab it with a little paw and then munch on it as you would like an ice cream and snack on it a little bit and then hop around, come back to you, grab you with your hands and grab more of it and then snack on it some more. It was amazing. It was adorable and the cutest thing ever. Now, working with him also came with manual labor because as we built the shed, we had to physically build the shed. Then we had to build the fence around it to make sure he wouldn't run away. And then we would have to dig the ditch that ran electrical lines to the shed so that he could have heat. Once we got the shed up, he was a little nervous at first, kind of scared, didn't want us to leave, but we kind of introduced it to him all together. He stayed out there his first night and then came back in the next day as he just got used to it and adopted the new habitat. Now, eventually, he lived out there full time, and we would just go out there to visit him, and he would just always be overjoyed to see us. And he'd come running out. He'd grab the fence with his hands like as a kid would, and look, he'd chirp. He does a little chirp thing as you would walk near him. And it was just the cutest thing to see him run out when you call his name, and he'd chase you around in his pen. It was just the most wonderful time messing with him, pushing him around, and he'd chase right back after you. And it was just great to raise those animals. So as I was a farmhand, I experienced building character as I was doing manual labor, but also I got to form bonds with those animals that they now recognize me and still know me to this day. And I can still play with them. They're bigger now, and they still are wonderful animals. And my job being a farmhand was just an amazing experience for me. I loved every minute of it, and I love teaching the animals how to eat and how to get bigger and how to act as they would as they got older into adulthood. So thank you all for listening to my speech, and I hope you all have a great night.